Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and today I'm going to try something a little bit different. Welcome to the first episode of Twitter, Termites, and Idiots on the Internet, because we've all been there. We've all been cruising through Twitter and seen something so outlandishly stupid, we had to share it with a quote tweet about how dumb it is, or comment on it, or whatnot. Sometimes make full videos on it, wink wink. But yeah, I figured some of these that I've seen are so dumb, but they don't warrant entire videos. Why not just compile them together in a list of some of the stupidest tweets and my takes on their insanity/hilarity. Let's get into it. I couldn't make it gay, so I made the love interest a chair is the funniest response a creator could have to forced heteronormativity in media. But this is really big. If the second biggest anime director in Japan couldn't make his story gay, imagine how much worse it is for others. Hold on, wait a minute. You think the anime ain't queer character friendly? What are these? So yeah, clearly there's some context missing here for those of you that don't know. We're talking about the new film Suzume, the anime movie that just came out, and what this particular poster is talking about is this segment right here. At first, I wanted to turn this story into a movie about Suzume and another girl journeying. Why I even wanted to go into that direction in the first place is because I personally felt a little bit tired of telling the very traditional romance story. Now, Makoto Shinkai, the guy who's writing this, who made the movie, made several other romance movies. Your Name, I believe he did The Garden of Words. Super famous director in Japan. His movies are incredible. I've seen them, like one of the best in the game. So yeah, I can get being tired of doing the same thing all the time. I felt that in Your Name, I did everything that I possibly could in terms of boy meets girl and the will they won't they meet. The element of romance is very relatable to the masses, which is why it's a subject matter that resonated with such a large audience. Characterizing his initial pitch for Suzume as a sisterhood type of romantic story. So I don't know what this heteronormativity is or how people are getting that he would have done, far more queer stuff or, oh, this could have been a gay anime story, rah! But like, it says right here, sisterhood. But sure, let's keep it going. Shinkai says his producer persuaded him to make another Your Name style boy meets girl romance because of audience expectations. And yeah, that makes sense. They're a business. They want to do what makes money. It's not like Japan is super anti-gay or anything like that. The business just wants to make money, and he's clearly proven himself with those sort of traditional romance stories. But again, he was tired of it. So he says, in order to not make it too much of a romance, I decided to make her primary interest a chair. Shinkai said he is not actively seeking out LGBTQ stories. However, the general narrative of Suzume would have worked had the titular character had a female love interest. I think it also would have worked had Suzume been a boy or had she been non-binary, Shinkai said. It's not necessarily the context of male/female, it's about a human overcoming something. In my future films as well, I want to focus on the human story as opposed to too much commentary on gender or sex. And that's completely fine, I don't see any issue with that. But for shipper Stan Vampire Jesus here, this absolute brainlet, of course, apparently Japan is super anti-gay despite their anime avatar. I would like to defer you once again to these characters. And it's the right that states they're against indoctrinating our children, but here's Chris Pratt delivering a sermon as an acceptance speech at an award show caters to young fans, telling him they have to join a cult to be famous like him, that they'll never be good. Once again, context absolutely matters here. Meh. Yeah, Star-Lord wasn't saying, you'll never be good unless you're a Christian, you won't get famous and be in hit Hollywood superhero movies unless you bow before our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth, or anything like that. Homeboy was simply talking about how no one is perfect. Everyone is imperfect. He wasn't saying you'll never be good enough or anything malicious. He was stating an objective fact that no one is perfect and that he gets his guiding light through his faith, his Christianity, all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. This was an award show on MTV. Chris Pratt, yeah, he was getting an award and talking about his faith, but it's not like he was some sort of southern preacher. Oh, everybody, stand back and just let the Lord in you. Get the devil out you. Like, Chris Pratt wasn't doing nothing like that. He was telling people he loves his faith. If you want to have faith, go for it. And he was doing something that so many actors have absolutely done in the past. It's been incredibly common for people to get up there and thank God and all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty sure even the Jonas Brothers did something like that at one point, back when they were the hot thing like a decade and a half ago, also on an MTV award show. So yeah, you're really just hating Chris Pratt to hate Chris Pratt for the same reason everyone else hates Chris Pratt if you've got a particular outlook on socio-political things. Dude's a straight white male who loves himself some Christianity, and that just isn't good for you, despite the fact that he's got nothing wrong with him so far as I can tell, and has been shown to be one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. Also, it's worth noting that this was 4 years ago when this came out, so why are you even quote retweeting and talking about it? From the Palmer Report, people who are older than Joe Biden. Harrison Ford just made another Indiana Jones movie. Yeah, well, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have even made a fourth Indiana Jones movie. Also, hasn't Harrison Ford not escaped his last, 6 movie sets without breaking a hip or some other major form of bodily injury? I don't know of Harrison Ford and an Indiana Jones 5 that's gonna flop hard because it's obvious that it's not even him doing his own stunts. Yeah, he's old, so he's not doing his stunts. It's all CGI. Not a very good comparison to start your list off with, but let's go on. Paul McCartney, touring around the world. Okay, that's not fair. Paul McCartney, I'm pretty sure he's a cyborg. I mean, the dude should be dead by now. By all accounts, Paul McCartney should be dead. So should Ozzy Osbourne. People back then, I think those musicians just built from a different breed. So comparing this possible cyborg to Joe Biden, also a little unfair. Patrick Stewart, still playing Captain Picard. Well, nope, the show's over, so he's not playing Captain Picard anymore. That being said, once again, he shouldn't be. I get it. Some people loved Season 3, said Picard Season 3 was fantastic, it was the root of old Trek. Okay, yippee, awesome. It still doesn't alter the fact that Patrick Stewart is not what he used to be, and frankly, from a lot of people's perspective, at least the first couple seasons, it was incredibly embarrassing to watch. He's an old man doddering around. Sure, Season 3 may have gotten stuff back on track from what Trekkies tell me. I wouldn't know, I'm not a Trek fan. But once again, not a real good comparison when you've heard what other people have said. People haven't liked Patrick Stewart still playing Picard. Mel Brooks, producing a new TV series. Alright, I'll give you that one. Nothing's wrong with Mel Brooks. Dude is perfect. We don't need to hear about Biden's age. Thanks. Well, I'm sorry. The dude wants to be president of the free world. Free world. Yeah, his age probably gonna come up because that is a point of contention, a slight point of contention, and it's gonna come up for any old president, not just Biden. Also, it's not necessarily just his age, it's his cognitive functions or lack thereof. I've seen Tootsie Roll rappers that have got more coherent thoughts on them than Joe Biden himself has espoused. So yeah, I think that this tweet here should promptly go where Joe Biden should also go, the garbage bin. They sexualized Jasmin because Aladdin is a racist Oriental movie that targets the brown women as the white man's fantasy. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I guess, yeah, Jasmin is drawn sexy or sexualized, but so are almost every Disney princess. I mean, that's just drawing an attractive female form as something that's appealing to the human eye. So that's not exclusive to Jasmin. Aladdin is a racist Oriental movie? Aladdin, you know that Disney didn't come up with the concept of Aladdin, right? Like, that's much like everything else. It's a fairy tale, a folk tale, an old story that's already existed. Also, Oriental, technically Saudi Arabia, Iran, cultures like that are Asian, as part of the continent of Asia, but I'm pretty sure Oriental means a particular kind of Asian, so I, again, don't see how this is Oriental, and it targets brown women as the white man's fantasy. I am a white man, and that's not my fantasy, so I don't know what you're talking about. The only fantasy I have right now is for Star Wars to get good again, and trust me, that's far more of a fantasy because that will never happen. I could hypothetically fall in love with a brown girl. And here we have the biggest offender on today's entire list from Tensei at Ramow. Objectively the best anime MC tier list, I think. He has Goku in the good spot. Now, doesn't have Goku in my goats. It's Goku. How is he not S tier? Goku should get his own tier. The Goku tier. Homeboy be putting some lame-ass chibi-doo with blue hair ahead of Goku. Are you off your nut, my mans? Well, now that I have been thoroughly scarred, and I'm sure you guys have as well, hope to see you back on next Sunday, because we're going to start doing this probably every week. I'll just keep bookmarking all these atrocious L-Take tweets, and of course I'll still have the daily content coming out for all the nerdy news, but hey, Sundays are pretty slow news days, so I figured why not try something a little bit different, and like I said, it's Twitter. We're going to see some awful takes quite a bit. Not all of them warrant an entire video though, so this would be a nice fun way to squeeze them all together. But until then, please do like, comment, subscribe, the whole nine, because I'm just over the 800, actually almost at the 850 subscriber mark. We're so close to that 1,000, so thank you so much. Please subscribe. I couldn't ask for anything more. I appreciate every bit that you guys give me. I couldn't do this without you. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, not just always drama on Twitter. It could be Star Wars, anime, Lord of the Rings, D&D, you name it. It's all here in the nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.